Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over this story about this woman who is pretty much desperately trying to get her husband back in his good graces and not divorce her after she was having an affair for several months with this guy who in the beginning was just a friend and basically had an affair for several months, was hooking up with him when the husband was away at this job, very stressful job, very demanding, going through a hard time, which she'll admit. She's hooking up with this guy. She's hooking up with him in his house, the husband's house, in the bed, the couch, you name it, And eventually, guess what? Husband finds out, and he's done with her. And the reason I'm doing this, guys, is that through the whole article, you're going to see, because this woman posted this and looking for counsel and advice, but most importantly, pity, you're going to see the whole time she plays the victim card. You can see the woe is me. You can pretty much hear the world's tiniest violin playing when she's going through this whole thing. And I'm doing this, guys, because for those of you that do relationships, or for those of you that in the past did relationships, I'm sure at least once you've been in a situation where a woman screws up. Maybe she cheated, maybe she had an affair, who knows what she did. And instead of just owning up to it, she screwed up, instead plays the victim card and tries to twist things to make it out that it's the guy's fault that she did whatever she did. Instead of just owning up to it, you made me do this. You weren't paying attention to me. You made me feel this way. So I had to go hook up with your best friend or whatever it happened to be. Okay? And this happens quite often, and it's right here. And so I want you guys to, pay attention to this as I go through the article. And I want you to understand that for you guys that do relationships and dating, at some point, something's going to happen where she's going to piss you off or do something obviously not cool. And I don't want you guys to get sucked into a situation where she uses pure manipulation to play the victim card and has you then apologizing for her screw up, which a lot of guys do. Now, I think a lot of guys that follow me at this point wouldn't fall for it, but there's a lot of new people to the channel, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. So I'm going to go through this story. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. All right, the title is, and it's a pretty stupid title that she wrote, it says, "Me, 36-year-old female, with my husband, 39-year-old male, need help after an affair." Starts off saying, "Hello, I'm reaching out to you as I have been reading this forum for a few days and hope you can provide some much needed advice. Both my husband and I are in our 30s and married for almost 8 years. We have no kids together. Here's the background story. A couple of years ago, due to his work, my husband was away for a few months. And during that time, I developed a romantic relationship with a man who was up until that point just a friend." Well, that's how it all starts off, just a friend, and then next thing you know, she's banging him on the couch. "During that time, I was intimate with this man and even brought him home as well. When my husband returned home, there was an opportunity for us to relocate to another city, and at that moment, though, I had an option to relocate by myself to a different part of the country. I made the conscious decision to follow him and hopefully be able to put it all behind. A few months went by, and we had a weekend trip planned to go back to the city where I had the affair. I arrived a couple of days before he did, and one night out with friends, I met with the man I had an affair with, was extremely weak, and was intimate with him one last time." Oh, so she was out with friends and just so happened to run into the guy that she had the affair with. Yeah, bullshit. She probably reached out to him saying basically, "Hey, I'm going to be in town." And one thing led to another. Please. Says here, "This time, this was purely sex, and in my head. I was still only emotionally invested in my husband." Oh, how nice. So she's emotionally invested in her husband, basically saying she loves the guy, so this was only about sex, so therefore it was okay. God's sakes. "My husband had a strong suspicion about this and confronted me with the question. At that moment, I really wanted to spare him the pain and thought it was best to deny everything. Yes, I'm sure that was her number one concern, that she doesn't want to hurt him, so she's going to lie about hooking up with this dude on that trip and also the many months while he was away on the job, busting his ass, providing a living under a very stressful environment. I'm sure it was all about she just wanted to spare him the pain, not that admitting to the husband what she did, and then him potentially saying, hey, get the hell out, and you're on your own. Bullshit. Poor her. Again, I know what most of you are thinking. I considered this incident as a relapse, but knew who I wanted to be, and I didn't want to lose my life partner. She didn't want to lose her life income. And yes, we are all thinking what she thinks we're thinking, because we know she's full of shit. At this point, I stopped all contact with the other man and blocked his number on my cell phone. However, after a few months, he reached out to me via social media, and she says in parentheses, we weren't connected on social media before this point, and told me he was diagnosed with cancer and I was going through a rough time. At the beginning, I ignored his messages, but at one point, and I know I shouldn't have, felt terrible for his situation and started talking to him again. Strictly as a friend, she's pointing that out, to try and help him through the situation. At present, we're looking at a timeline of almost 2 years since the beginning of our 4-month affair, over a year since our last sexual encounter, and maybe 6 months since I learned about his illness. So this is the perspective from the present time here. But notice that guy reaches out to her, she can't say no, and blaming, oh well, since he's sick, then I have to. If she truly cared about her husband like she claims she did, she would A, tell the guy no matter what, and B, not have any contact with this guy regardless. Even if he is sick, she could say, hey, I'm really sorry about that, but I can't talk to you now. I have to move on. What I did was wrong, But no, she's going to keep talking to him. A month ago, while preparing to move back to the city where it all started, my husband was already there and I was in the other city taking care of the move. One of my last days at work, my phone started blowing up. It was my husband, who, I don't know how, had read all the Facebook messages I had received from this other man and realized about the affair. It says in parentheses, the other man mentions understanding my choice to move on with my husband despite him wanting a life together with me. I want to know how the husband just so happens to find her Facebook messages. Women are extremely clever. So when I hear stories about the husband suddenly discovering something, typically it's because the wife either wants to have him find it so she can then start the process of ending it, or just wants to create a whole lot of drama, because we all know women love drama. Okay? Women are drawn to drama the way moths are drawn to a flame. That's why they love to watch shows like these reality shows with all this turmoil and drama. They love it. That's why women hang out with other women that they call frenemies, because there's always going to be drama there and something to talk about. You ever notice you get a bunch of girls together, big group, there's drama, and then say you split them apart, and what do? The girls are then talking about the other girls. Drama, drama, drama. And of course, women love the bad boys, because the bad boys always give them drama, always something to keep their mind going, their heartbeat, heart racing, all that stuff. So I question this when she said he just happened to find this. I think she let it trail for him to discover this. But nevertheless, he found it, and this is where it gets interesting. And you're going to hear the violin being played from her perspective. I've since moved back to the city where my husband is. Luckily, our rental apartment has 2 bedrooms, so we agreed to each take our own. He told me he doesn't think being able to move past this and is seriously considering divorce. Good for husband. But we also both agreed to first take care of our finances and be able to make this as amicable as possible. Well, that's how it should be, and that's probably his idea. Here we go. Here comes the violin. What truly devastates me is knowing I brought him so much pain during a stressful time in his life on the work front. I don't know what to do to help him. Well, leave him the fuck alone. That's what you can do to help him. If he wants space, he wants to move on, leave him alone. And I don't want to hear this crap about what truly devastates me, how I brought so much pain. If you want to bring him so much pain, you would have been hooking up with that dude for 4 months in your husband's house, and then having another hookup later on in time, and then talking to this guy behind his back, all the lying and cheating and manipulation and the bullshit. So give me a break here, but poor her, right? He has been avoiding me like the plague, which I understand and have been trying to give him space. He has gone through great lengths to not see me at home. He goes out to dinner until late, so he makes sure I'm already sleeping when he comes home. And over the weekends, he just disappears for hours at a time. Can you blame the guy? This guy is just biding his time, taking care of what he's got to take care of so he can get out. Why would he want to be around his wife when she's done all this? Come on here. But again, poor her, the victim. I'm constantly worried about him and think something could happen to him. And I wouldn't know it because I'm trying to give him the space he needs and not ask where he is. She has no fucking right to ask him where he is. She has no right to ask for anything. Every day I stop myself from texting him to see how he's doing. So the last couple of days, I left him 2 letters on his nightstand to hopefully be able to open up communication between us. I would like to at least be able to take some of that pain away from him. Give him an output for his anger, rage, sadness, whatever it may be. It is unfair for him to be in the situation because I put him there. And I feel horrible that there is not much I can do right now to help him in any way possible. The best way this woman can help him is to leave this guy the hell alone. Period. Okay? There's nothing she can do. Okay? In fact, by her trying to talk to him and say how sorry she is and make up a bunch of bullshit why she did it and no doubt manipulate him into think that it's his fault, because that's going to happen, leave the guy alone. That's it. And any woman watching this and you've been in this situation or you ever get in this situation, you screw up like this, own up to it. You admit what you did. Don't twist it around to blame it on him because he wasn't paying attention to you or he was away or some crap. Own up to it, okay? You know you did wrong, all right? And then you give the guy space. And he doesn't want anything to do with you, then that's it. He doesn't want anything to do with you, okay? The woman in this situation, she doesn't deserve to have him give her a second chance. She doesn't deserve him to, give her what she wants right now. No way. Please help me. I need to understand how to approach him. She won't back down. Though I hope that with time, we may be able to push through and come out on the other side in our relationship. I respect his current course of action. No, she doesn't. And my ultimate goal right now is to make this at least a bit easier on him. That is not her goal. Her goal is to make this easier on her. That's why she's doing all this. This has never been about him. It was never about him when she said that she didn't want to tell him that she cheated on him because she said she didn't want to hurt him. No, she didn't want to make it hard for her. She didn't want to screw up her meal ticket. Now she's saying, I want to make this easier on him, but complaining that he won't talk to her or have anything to do with her. Again, this is about her. This is about her whining and complaining and playing the victim and wanting pity. What advice would you be able to provide for me at this time? And again, she's addressing people in the forum, probably women. And I said before what I said, but I'll just say one more time. Leave this guy the fuck alone. Give him space. If he doesn't want anything to do with you, that's it. Respect. That's the only thing you can do to slightly, and I do mean slightly, redeem yourself. Leave this guy alone, and what happens, happens. And if he wants to end this in divorce, then you make it as easy as him as possible. Okay? Because you screwed up. But this whole thing that, you feel so bad and all that, no, you don't. Or playing the pity card, come on, it's about you. It's about the woman writing this. She wants pity. She's, wants people to feel bad for her playing the victim. And guys, this is why I'm doing this video. Aside from the fact that it's a good lesson here, you guys get into a situation like this, because there are guys here that are married or in relationships or date, understand this. A situation arises where she does something, hopefully not to you as bad as this, but it can happen. We all know this. Don't fall for this victim crap. Don't fall for the manipulation of twisting things around to make it out to be your fault. You're the reason I did this. No, okay? You don't fall for that. You walk away. And a woman cheats on you, guarantee, guys, she's going to do it again. It's best to just end the situation and move the hell on. So, even if it costs you money in divorce, depending on where you live, it's best to move on. Otherwise, you're always going to be wondering what the hell she's going to do next. Sleeping with one eye open is not fun. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know about what you think about this. Let me know your experiences where you've had your girlfriend or wife or fiance, whatever, screw up in some way, maybe like this. and how she twisted things around to make it out to be your fault and make you feel bad about it and play the victim. Let me know about that, because this will help out a lot of guys that don't have as much experience not get into that situation. All right, guys, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.